In 399 BC, a 70-year-old man was put on trial. He was charged with two crimes against the state: impiety and corrupting the youth, both arising from his profession of teacher. The whole incident probably would have been long forgotten, but the man was Socrates, the father of philosophy, and the place was Athens, the birthplace of democracy. The trial of Socrates provides one of the best ways to know who he was, what he stood for, and why ancient Athens is so important to the study of Western civilization. What we know of the man in the trial we have had to glean from the writings of his students, namely Xenophon and Plato. They both kept very good lecture notes, however, and were present at the trial and death of Socrates. Under the statesman's Pericles, who led Athens from 460 to 429 BC, the city enjoyed a time of greatness. The arts flourished, philosophers like Socrates promoted intellectual thought, and Athenians took active roles in political life. But this environment of free thought did not last long. Democratic government in Athens was overthrown in 404 BC, the year of its defeat by Sparta. An oligarchy, a form of government in which a few people have the ruling power, was established. In 403 BC, the oligarchy was overthrown and democracy was restored. Although he participated, like all citizens, in the government of Athens, Socrates often criticized democracy as mediocre and inefficient. Because he had friends among the deposed oligarchy and students who sided with Sparta in its war against Athens, he was distrusted by members of the restored democratic government. Socrates was brought to trial charged with impiety and corruption of the youth. Animosity against him for his political views laid behind these charges.
So why is the marketplace empty today, Beatrice?
What surprises you? Today is the trial of the gadfly.
Oh yes, I remember. Today is when Athens will see Socrates answering the questions. Every day in this very marketplace, I see him going from person to person, asking his infernal questions. And when they have more important matters to think about, I'll be relieved when the judges, ask him questions and he answers them. I hope they silence his pestering tongue.
I know what you mean. Just the other day, Agamemnon and I were discussing the virtues of democracy when from nowhere Socrates bobbed up. You can never hear him coming because he refuses to wear sandals. He says that he likes the feel of the earth on his bare feet. It's like the truth, he says. It can only be reached once all the barriers have been cut away. If that doesn't prove he's a troublemaker, I don't know what will. But anyway, back to my story. So we asked Agamemnon, what is democracy? I guess he'd been listening to our conversation.
Really? I would think every Athenian would know what democracy is. After all, he developed it.
Yes, but he kept on wanting a definition. So I gave one to him. I said that democracy means that we are all free, we all have equal rights, and we are governed by leaders which we freely elect.
Oh, come now, Deirdre. Every man knows that democracy has to do with the rights of citizens and that they can vote and be governed under the laws.
It's obvious that you've never been hounded by Socrates before. The man never stops. What is equality? What is freedom? Who is free? All manner of silly questions which any intelligent man would be able to answer. I'll tell you, he had Agamemnon and I so confused that I developed a thundering headache and had to leave, but not before telling him that he was a master of clever, if misleading, arguments.
And what did he say to that?
Oh, he just smiled and shuffled off towards Damon and Jason. We were glad to see him go, but boy did we feel sorry for Damon and Jason. He's a good character, and his intelligence is vast, but those blasted questions.
I don't agree. See, those questions are the seeds from which more dangerous things can come from. Anyway, it is about the time the law actually did something to silence him and end his harassment of the good people of Athens. Just the mere idea of asking what democracy is whatever. Anyway, did I tell you about the slave I bought last night? He's not worth the salt I paid for him.
Figures.
Socrates of Athens, you have charged with 2 treasonous crimes. You do not recognize the gods of the state, and you have corrupted the youth of Athens.
The judge of Athens accuses me unjustly. I've never disputed the existence of the gods. I myself am ordered by them to fulfill my philosopher's mission, to cause men to search into themselves for truth. I cannot be charged with impiety, for I am doing the gods' work. My life is my proof of my belief.
That is all very well, Socrates, but it has been reported that you have questioned others concerning their beliefs, and your questions have caused doubt and offense.
It is not my wish to create doubt or offense to any of the good citizens of this great city. I seek truth and wisdom. My questions should not weaken belief, but give it new strength.
I see you believe yourself to be a kind of conscience for all of Athens.
Yes, through my inquiries, each man will know himself, and through that knowledge Athens and her gods will grow greater.
But Socrates, all of Athens knows you care nothing of greatness or wealth.
But I care very much about the truth, and greatness comes through finding the truth.
Socrates, you are also charged with the corruption of the youth of Athens. What do you say to this accusation?
This charge hurts me deeply. My life has been a search for truth and wisdom. My students are as dear to me as beauty is to Athens. I could no more corrupt them than an Athenian could defile the Parthenon. I want for them the highest of pleasures and the one true good, truth.
But Socrates, you have caused them to question the council, the magistrates, the very democracy of Athens. They follow you through Athens and listen to questions. They see you. When they are older, they will become citizens and will take a responsible role in the government. How can they do this if they are constantly tearing down our democracy by such questions? It is commonly known that you have criticized our democracy as corrupt. We cannot continue to let you teach our young men.
It is true that I encourage my students to question everything, and that I teach them methods I use myself. I do this not to make them disloyal to Athens, but to make them think in order to find wisdom and truth they must question. Do the judges see the search for truth as a corrupting influence?
I warn you, Socrates, do not be insolent with us. Who are these men? I am Plato. This is my companion, Xenophon.
We are students of Socrates.
What do you want? You are interrupting a trial.
We have come on behalf of our teacher, Socrates. We fear for his life, and we think that we are best able to speak of his teachings.
Very well. We will allow you to speak.
Socrates is a good and kind teacher. I've never seen him do wrong to any man or fail to want other men to do good. He makes us work hard to find the truth. We learn to question everything. What is just? What is unjust?
Has Socrates ever taught you to question all democracy?
He is the greatest of our teachers. Plato and I keep a record of all that he says, since he cares nothing for fame and writes nothing. I'm tired. I've led a life sacrificed to the highest virtues of truth and wisdom. I say to the people of Athens, either let me go free or condemn me, but whatever you do, I will not change my ways.
Socrates, be silent. You are again showing a belligerent and haughty.
I do not fear you, for if you kill me, you will hurt yourselves more than you will injure me. Athens is like a mighty steed which needs to be prodded into action. I have been sent by the gods to be a short gadfly who can stir Athens to action when she has become too settled in her thoughts. Strength comes from adversity.
Enough! We have all heard the haughty words of Socrates. There is nothing more to be said. The council will now vote. You seem most calm.
And why should I not be calm? I do not fear death. I'm only giving up the most difficult part of life, the part that will see my intellect slowly fade. No, I much prefer it this way, to die at the height of my power.
Drink!
This hemlock will quench my thirst forever.
Socrates, no! No! Socrates! No!